What is going on, guys? Justin Saunders here. And in this video, we're going to be going over a Facebook ads tutorial. It's going to be a complete guide to show you how to create Facebook ads. And more importantly, if you're a beginner, this is exactly what you're going to need. Now, before we jump into all the hows, the twos, the whys, the whats, the wheres, and the whens, let's first distinguish why Facebook is one of the best places to advertise. And it's simply because there's 2.89 billion people on Facebook at the time of this video. That means almost everybody that you could potentially go after as a customer is on Facebook. And if you look around, when was the last time you looked around and you saw someone scrolling their phone that wasn't on Facebook or Instagram? Right? So it's a very good platform for you to get your message out there and target the right individuals. And with Facebook's actual targeting methods, it makes it a lot easier than a lot of other platforms to go out there and actually get in front of the right audience that you want to go after. So the first thing that you're going to have to understand is, what is Facebook Ads Manager and how exactly does it work? This is a link directly from Facebook, and I'll leave it down in the description down below if you want to check it out. But it pretty much sums up exactly what Ads Manager is. And it says, Ads Manager is your starting point for running ads on Facebook, Instagram, Messenger, or Audience Network. It's an all-in-one tool for creating ads, managing when and where they'll run, and tracking how well your campaigns are performing. And it comes on to say a little bit more that there's an app on your phone, iOS and Android, that you can download as well to start editing your campaigns and all that stuff. I personally don't use the app on my phone. I strictly use what I'm about to share with you inside this video on how to set it up on the computer. But you can go through here and check and understand a little bit more. I'll leave this link down below so you can go through here and check out to understand a little bit more about Ads Manager. But what I'm going to share with you here, it's pretty straightforward. And once you actually just kind of dive in deep on it, you'll get a better understanding. And that's kind of what I'd really recommend for anyone that's just getting started with this, is just get started with it and you'll start learning more as you progress your way along. I personally have been running Facebook ads for over 5 years now. And that's exactly how I first started learning. I bought a course that kind of just taught me the basics on, hey, this is where the stuff is located. And then it was just me going in there and just messing around with buttons and learning more about it. Now, this is an inside look of what actually Ads Manager looks like. And the simplicity behind this is where all of your campaigns, all of your ads, all of your ad sets, everything will be running. And if that doesn't make sense, bear with me 1 second. I'll show you and kind of walk you through what this looks like. So before we jump into it, you got to understand that you have 3 tabs up here, really 3 folders. You've got your campaigns, you've got your ad sets, and your ads. Basically, each one of these goes into the next one. So all of your ads will go into an ad set, and then your ad sets will go into a campaign. And basically the way that this looks is you could have multiple campaigns and then have different ad sets in each different campaign, different ads and different ad sets and different campaigns. And that might sound like a lot right now, but let me just show you and set up a basic ad real quick, just so you can understand how this works. And don't worry, I'll cover what all these mean here in a second, but I just want to show you to give you the groundwork and the foundation to understand what this looks like. So as I was mentioning, there's 3 tabs. You can see campaign, ad set, and ad. All of these go under the campaign, right? So our campaign right there, you have your ad set, and then you have your ads. Now, if you wanted to create another campaign, let's say maybe this one was for a conversions campaign. And again, we'll go over that. Disregard my bad spelling on here. Just want to get to the point for you guys on here. So let's say we did conversions and then we did a lead generation campaign. So technically, these are 2 different campaigns. We'll call this one. They're technically 2 different campaigns. And if you come here, you see how we have lead gen and then we have conversions. Well, if you set up ads under the lead gen, they're going to be different than what's in the conversions. And same with the ad sets. So all of these, they're basically like different folders. So you have your campaign, you have your ad sets, and your ads. And that's the basic foundation you at least have to understand when you're first running this, to understand like what it will look like. And when you set this up the right way, it'll make more sense. So we're actually going to come right back into this in a second. I very quickly want to show you and help you understand what Business Manager is, so you can get a better understanding of how all this works. We'll go over the foundation, and then I'll actually show you and explain how these different campaigns go into play and what they mean and what might be best for you. So the next thing that you'll want to understand is a business manager. And a simple way to always go to the business manager is type in business.facebook.com. Now, if you don't have one of these set up, you'll want to set one up. And the way you want to look at this is ads manager is basically when you're just running ads like for yourself. You could even run a couple clients campaigns under your ads manager as well if you wanted to. But when you start like actually running an agency or running ads for other businesses, then you'll want to set up a business manager, because that way you can run multiple different ad accounts. And I'll explain how all this works in a second. Now, this is what your actual business manager will look like depending on how many accounts you have in here and things like that. So you can see for New Age Enterprise, this is one of my agencies I own. We have 50 plus different ad accounts in here. And for the sake of our clients, I'm not going to go in there and show the accounts. I'm just going to give you like a basic understanding of how to set this up the right way. As you're in here, there's a couple things that you're going to want to do. And to be honest with you, this could be an entire hour-long video presentation if you really wanted me to break down every single thing in here that you would need to know. But for the sake of this video, I just want to go over a couple different things that you need to have in play. So first things first is you need to have your business settings set up the right way. And the way that you can do that is you can come in here and then go to business info, and you can actually go in here and verify your business. And once you have this verification status right here, it'll make your life a lot easier. You'll have less accounts being shut down. So if you are somebody that is getting accounts shut down, make sure you fill this information out. And then also another thing you can do is come over here to add account creation limit and see how many ad accounts you get per business manager. Now, the more money you spend, the more ad accounts you'll be able to get access to. So for example, this one's 3. I personally haven't used this ad account, I don't think ever. Yeah, as you can see, there's only been 1, but what you want to do if you have 3, you can come here and create your new ad accounts, and you can come in and just create them and come back and edit the names whenever you want. But it's important that you actually come in here and set these up the right way before anything happens. So for example, you can see right here, this ad account has been disabled. If you have one disabled and you don't have other ones back up in play, then they might not let you be able to do that. So for example, this one right here, it says I'm in bad standing with this account. We don't use it anymore, but this would be a perfect example of why you'd want to go in there and max out your ad accounts before. So just to reiterate that, if you have 3 on there, come in here and create 3 different ad accounts and start by using one, and then you can come back and edit the other ones. The next is understanding we talked about ads manager. We'll come back to that in a second, but you also want to understand that you have your events manager, which is where you'll be setting up your pixels. And again, a lot of this stuff requires a full video by itself, but I want to give you like the basics of understanding where everything is. So if you wanted to come in here and set up some pixels, you come in here and hit, you could create your custom audience, you create your lookalike audience. And let me go back over here. This is your pixel right here. So if you have one set up, if you wanted to create a new one, you could come here and you'd come here and click this connect data source, and you can connect and set up your pixel from here, depending on where it's coming from. Again, this requires a whole video by itself. So if you want more information on that, just let me know down in the comments. If there's enough demand, we'd be happy to create a video, because pixels are very important. The more data you build, the better tracking you'll get and the better results you'll get for yourself or your clients. So I hope a lot of this is making sense on the business manager. I know a lot of times it's pretty complex, and just what I found is just by being in here, clicking around and stuff, you get a better understanding of how things work. Now, one last thing I want to share with you before we jump back into the ads manager is if you are wanting to set up and add your payment information, you come over here to payment methods and then add your payment method here. That way, if you want to use 1 card, 2 cards, whatever it is, you can put that in here and you can put those on separate ad accounts. So let's go back to the actual ad accounts, the ads manager, and I'll walk you through how to create the campaigns and understand what campaigns are the ones that you want to be running yourself. All right, so we're back in this screen over here, which I was showing you guys earlier. I'm just going to go ahead and delete both of these just so I can get a fresh start and kind of explain what these different type of campaigns are and what you should be running. So at the end of the day, everyone's business is different depending on if you're wanting to run ads for an e-commerce store, if you're wanting to run ads for a lead generation, a different business, local business, traffic views. There's a lot of different things you can do on here. And I'll explain the main ones I use and walk you through what's going to be most useful for you and your business. So you can see right here, as Facebook has on their campaigns, ad sets, and ads, they have 3 folders. And it's the same thing here. They have awareness, consideration, and conversions. Now, I personally never use awareness just because I always like to get straight to the point and make myself and my clients as much money as possible. And when you do brand awareness or reach, it's just kind of getting your brand out there. And you can do all of these through the other campaigns I'm going to show you. So I typically stay away from from awareness, because brand awareness, you can definitely do the other way. You can make your brand aware by running traffic to it and getting sales and stuff like that too. So bear with me as I go through here, but consideration, you have traffic, engagement, app installs, video views, lead generation, and messages. I like consideration a lot because it's got a lot of different options that you can use here. So traffic is just how it sounds. You're going to be driving traffic to a website, app, or Facebook event, and then let them tap to call you. I don't know why Facebook put or let them tap to call you. I guess that's just one option for it, but basically you're just going to be driving traffic to wherever that is, some URL link. Engagement. This is where you're going to be getting more page likes, more responses, maybe if you're going to be running an event, post reacts, comments, shares, things like that. Now, engagement used to be really good, probably about 3 or 4 years ago. And then Facebook, if you're just now joining the Facebook community of running ads, just understand there are updates consistently inside Facebook. It's pretty easy to stay on top of once you get in here. But before they made one of these big updates in the past, you would just run engagement campaigns and everyone would like and comment on it and it would go viral. And that's not the case anymore. So I personally don't use engagement unless, maybe you want to get page likes up or something like that. Pretty simple to do. App installs, pretty straightforward. If you have an app and you want to run a campaign to get more app installs, you would want to use the app install one right here. Video views, show people video ads. Now, I don't typically do video ads, and I'll explain more of what I do and how to set up a video ad here in a minute. But I usually use video ads with either lead generation, messages, or conversions. And I'll cover that in a second. But lead generation, this is great. These are the easiest ways to prove that an ad works very well. Basically, the structure that we have inside our lead generation agency is we typically, if it's a new offer, test with lead generation. And then once it works, we'll have a cheaper cost per conversion and then boost it to a conversion campaign where we'll have a landing page. And I'll explain that in a second, because if you're not following that, just stay along. It'll make sense in a second. But basically, lead generation is, let's see what they have on here. Use forms, calls, or chats to gather info. People are interested in your business. Basically, Facebook made it so you can use a lead generation campaign and have your own form that somebody fills out. You can collect their name, email, and phone number on Facebook. And you might be saying, well, why is this so beneficial? Because Facebook has came out and announced that they favor people staying on their platform, right? Like imagine if you ran a multi-billion, whatever it is, $1 trillion business, you'd want to keep people on your platform, right? So that's why they came out with lead generation. And that's where you can get the cheapest cost per lead by using lead generation. Now, I do have to let you know, lead generation is not always the best results. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. The thing you'll run into with this is people's name, email, and phone number is populated when they go in, and it makes it easier for them to check out or click lead. But sometimes that information's wrong. Whereas if you use conversions, and I'll cover that here in a minute, you can get a little bit more specific on having the user fill out the information themselves. And there's some tips and some hacks that we can go over with this. But for right now, the simplicity's sake, is lead generation is another good one as well. And then messages. I like messages a lot. I actually recorded a video on a full video, about 30 minutes, walking you through how to do the messages on Instagram. And that'll kind of explain a little bit more in detail on here. But basically, messages are just running ads to get people to message you. And it's really beneficial, especially if you have somebody, if you're trying to grow and you have time to go back and message people back, or maybe you want to hire somebody to come through your business and reply to people. Messages is really good. It says you can use Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp, and Instagram Direct. I personally use Messenger and Instagram Direct, and it works really well. We actually have a campaign going live right now. We're getting messages with quality individuals for like $9 a message. So pretty solid. And the next one you want to go over is conversions. Now you have conversions, catalog sales, and store traffic. I don't use catalog sales. I don't use store traffic, but if you go over this, you can see use your target audience to show people ads with items from your catalog. If you have a catalog, I know that's really popular on Instagram. You could use that and it would work. Store traffic, show your ad to people who most likely visit your physical store when they're near you. I don't do that, and I work with a lot of local businesses. I personally never use store traffic. So I would say, unless you know a lot about it, stay away. But conversions, on the other hand, is one that I like a lot because once you have your offer in play and everything, you can drive traffic to a landing page. And that's really what conversions do well. One of the things you'll notice is like local businesses will be like, oh, I got this awesome website set up. I just need more traffic to it. Most of the time that doesn't work because their websites aren't optimized to convert. And when you optimize them into a funnel, which is something that we teach a lot of our students how to do, you get the best type of results for your clients because it's going to a direct page of what they can opt into. And I'll cover that a little bit more in detail. If you guys want more info on like how to set up funnels or creating funnels, high converting funnels, let me know. Inside our business, we have some 8-figure funnels that we work with clients on. So it's one of the things that I kind of love doing. It's a love-hate relationship because I like building them myself, but it takes so much time. So I usually end up having to bring on somebody on my team to do it. But it's one of those like side project type things. Anyways, conversions, we'll come through and just set up a conversions campaign to show you how this works on here. So what I always recommend to do when you do this, remember how we have campaign, ad set, and ad. This probably makes it a little bit more simple. You have your ad that's under your ad set, that's under your campaign. We'll just name this campaign 1. I would always put the date in here if I were you. I believe today is the 30th, October 30th. So 10/30/21. Depending on when you guys are watching this video, it might be Halloween. So I'm kind of curious what you guys are going to be for Halloween. Leave down in the comments down below. Very curious. I'll leave my costume down there. And if you want to check it out and see what I am, I'll post some pictures on Instagram at Justin J. Saunders, link in the bio. Go ahead and check it out. We've got some fun plans for the night. But ad set, this is usually where your interests are going to be, your interests in the area that you're targeting, and then your ad 1. Just an easy way to stay organized with some of this stuff. So there's a couple ways you can do it. You can set up the campaign like this, or you can go in here individually with tabs. I'm going to do it like this just to show you and move this real quick. So you'll see categories. You don't really have to worry about this depending on what type of ads you're running. I mean, if you're running ads for credit, you'd want to have to put it on there. If you're running employment ads, meaning like you're recruiting people, you'd want to select employment. Housing, this is usually for real estate. You'd want to select that, or social issues, politics, elections, click that. If you're not doing anything of that, I personally don't. You can just click off and not have to do anything. Buying type, auction, campaign objective, conversions. Can always keep that. If you want to change this, you can go through here and change these. Side note, never change this part in the middle of a campaign. Like once the ad goes live, never, I don't even know if it'll let you, but never change this part in the campaign objective. You'd have to create a new campaign. A to B test. If you want to split test different images, ad text, audiences, then you can do this. A little bit more advanced. I personally, if I'm going to do any of this, like doing CBO, campaign budget optimization, which basically is if you're going to have multiple ad sets and multiple ads, campaign budget optimization is really good because Facebook will use its intelligence to go in there and actually optimize and put small amounts of money in different ad sets, different ads, different images, different text, and find the winner for you. So it's basically split testing everything for you, and you find the winner, then you scale that. That's what we use a lot inside our campaigns, but it's a little bit more complex. We can go over that in another video if you'd like. Again, this channel, my YouTube, to be honest with you, is for you. So let me know in the comments what you'd like. And I'm serious when I say that. I actually go back and read these and reply to all these comments myself. It's not somebody on my team, it's myself. So whatever you want, like let me know down in the comments. I'd be happy to do that, because ultimately I want to help you guys out. So let me know. For this video, we're going to not be doing campaign optimization, even though I love that. It's one of my favorites. Ad set name. Now, this is where the fun comes in. You have a couple different options here. If you want to send what type of conversion you're going to do, I'm going to send for this one, sending people to a website. If you wanted to send them to an app, you'd have to do the app and set it up here. I personally never ran apps, so I don't know enough about that. Website or an app, same thing. You got a pixel. Messenger, if you want to just convert them to an actual messenger. And then you have WhatsApp. I don't use WhatsApp, so I don't really believe in sending traffic to it. However, I do live in Miami now, and I see almost probably about 60, 70% of the people on WhatsApp consistently. But what works for me is website. So that's what we're going to do. Now, the other thing is you have to have your pixel. If you haven't created your pixel yet, there'll be an option right here for you to create it. Again, that's going to be, we kind of talked about it earlier. It's pretty simple if you just follow the directions on how to create a pixel. It'll just ask for a website. You copy the code, you put in your heading section of your landing page, and then you just test it. And it's pretty simple from there. Again, if you want more information, let me know down in the comments. We'd be happy to explain that. But then from here, you want to, based off your conversion events that come from your pixel, you'll want to pick one. And depending on what you want, if you want to optimize for add a cart, purchase, initiate checkout, schedule, whatever it is, whatever you pick here, Facebook will start optimizing for it. So basically, I want you to think about on a landing page, like a website you drive traffic to, there's a coding on there, which is a pixel. And on the pixel, you'll have your first page, which is the opt-in page. Like the first page you land on might say, like, it might be like a view content, meaning that pixel, the view content, will be triggered whenever someone lands on there. Now, after they click submit and they go to the next page and they put in their information, then there might be a pixel code on there for lead. And then that will optimize, that will trigger whenever someone lands on that page as a lead. And then if there's a purchase after that, so on, so on. That's how they optimize on here. So most of the time, again, it depends on what you're going to do. What we usually do inside our business is leads. Now, at the time of this video, I'm currently running a campaign for my own company to get purchases for a course that we're selling, www.agencylaunchmap.com, if you wanted to check it out. And it is something that we're optimizing for purchases. So for the sake of this video, let's just do if there's lead, that's what we usually do. We'll go right there. Now, as you go through here, it hasn't been updated. It'll tell you, it should be green when you click on here, by the way. It's probably red since we haven't driven traffic to it. But the next part is dynamic creative. Again, I like dynamic creative a lot just because you can watch it. If you hit dynamic creative, I'll come back and show you. It'll give you more options on like the ad on the, you can split test different images and text, basically is what dynamic creative does. Now your daily budget. Here's your numbers right here. You can get started with whatever you want. I'd say at bare minimum, I mean, I usually run ads for about, when I'm testing, like $20, just so I can get the answers right away. I've had ads running as low as $3 a day. So it's really depends on what you want. Put your budget in here, whatever you're comfortable with, whatever you're doing for your clients, whatever. Start date, I usually don't do anything here. I usually just let it run right away because Facebook has to approve it, and it doesn't get approved right away most of the time. Sometimes it might take an hour, it might take 4 hours, it might take a day, it might take 2 days. But usually it's pretty quick. So if you wanted to set this up maybe in the future for a specific day, you can put it there. End date, I never end. I just go in here and turn them off myself. But just know if you did, you could put the end date and time on here. Okay, now the fun part, creating the audience. If you have any custom audiences, you can come in here based off lookalike audiences or custom audiences. Maybe you have some lists that you wanted to upload into your custom audience. You could add them in here, or you have some lookalike audiences that you wanted to add in here. Again, that's a whole nother video for a whole nother time. This is kind of just showing you how to set up the basics on this. So as we go through here, you can put locations. Now, if you wanted to do the United States, if you wanted to do United Kingdom, We have a lot of clients from the United Kingdom for my coaching program. Put that on here. And you can do a bunch of things. One thing you want to look at when you're doing this is how big your estimated audience is. So as you can see right now, it's a pretty big audience. If you're doing this for local businesses, then you'd want to put in the address. So like, for example, it's one of the old houses I lived at in San Diego. San Diego is beautiful. I miss that place. But you would put the address here and then you could change like the radius. You could go even bigger. You go 21 miles. You could go, sometimes they limit you on how small you can go. You go 1 mile. Whatever it is, you want to watch that as you go through here. So let's say for the sake of this video, 10 miles. And you might be asking, Justin, what is the estimated audience size? It really varies on what type of campaign you're running. I'll give you a little tip right now. If you're doing lead generation for a local business, meaning like something like this, an address, we aim for around 300,000 is usually the good one. But if you're going more of like what we're doing with the purchases, you know, we're upwards in the millions. So it just depends on what you're optimizing for. Age, you can determine your age here, whatever you want. Genders, if you only want to target male or women, you can come in here. And then detailed targeting. This is how you can get this down. If you wanted to come in here and just target people that like ESPN only. Whoops. You can see right here and then watch that number over here. That's something that we always look at. And then if you wanted to get some additional interest, whenever you click one here and you click suggestions, Facebook will give you some options based off that. So you can see Sports Center, Fox, NBC. So like, for example, let's say HBO. Now it's going to give us some different suggestions like Netflix, Apple TV. So you can see how that makes sense. If you're doing local businesses, we usually start with a blank targeting. And then this part right here is up to you. Reach people beyond your detailed targeting selection when it's likely to improve performance. If you're doing a small audience, this usually isn't a big deal. You can leave it checked. But if you're doing something upwards millions or like 700,000 plus, you might want to second guess this. There's no right or wrong answer. It's just split test at the end of the day. Languages, if you wanted to edit languages, you can come in here and you put language. You can exclude certain languages too. I'm not going to go too much into detail on there. But placements, automatic placements, if you want Facebook just to do its thing. And then manual placements, if you want to come in here and fix it yourself. So you can see on here, you have Facebook feeds, story and reels, in stream, search, messenger, in article, apps, and suites. So if you wanted to be inside some of the apps, you could have that in here too. And then you can just click on what you want. So the easy way to do this, if you wanted to just do Instagram ads, you can check everything other than Instagram. If you want to do just Facebook ads, you do everything other than Facebook. So sake of this video, I'll let you play around with that. We're just going to do automatic placements, keep it simple, which is what I like to do when I'm first getting started, just so we can kind of see and get the data on what's working. So Facebook page, this is where you'd want to come in here and choose your actual page. Obviously, you'd have to have a page to run this. If you don't, go create a page. It's pretty simple to do. Instagram account, you don't have to have an Instagram account. There'll be an option here where you can just say run this ad and it'll just have your name. But you know, if you're going to run an Instagram ad, you might as well have an Instagram account, right? Now, here's the part that I want to show you real quick. Is see how this is set up right here. You have your image. You could run a carousel ad, collection ad, and basically how it only has like one text here and one headline, and you can only add one image. So check this out. So see how we have that right there. HTF, High Ticket Freedom, that's my coaching program. We help people build an online agency. More on that later. Right now, point being is if you come back to the ad set, remember, because you can change everything here and you hit dynamic creative, it's going to change some things. Check this out. The main difference you're going to notice is if you come here, instead of just one image here, you can also click multiple images. Now see how I have a couple different images on here? It's going to start optimizing that. And now what's even cooler than that is you can have multiple texts. So text here, and then text number 2 here. And you can do 3. And then you can also have different headlines. Chat with us here. Learn more. Point being is you can do a lot. I'm going to come back and get rid of dynamic creative just so I don't overcomplicate it too much. We're going to go back to the ad. Now see how single image, there's just one image here. If I wanted to change it, you can come here, hit change media. See if it'll let me pull up any of my Instagram. There we go. Got some of my Instagram ones on here. Let's see what's a good one. We'll use, this is me overlooking my penthouse in Miami. I absolutely love this spot. So we're going to use this one. Want to learn how to start and run a digital marketing agency? Go to www.agencylaunchmap.com. Headline, learn how run an SMA today. And description, optional, learn how to run. And you don't have to use that. I usually don't, but it's going to be like right down here. See how that small? And then the other thing is your, where is that? Right there. See how it says display URL? You're going to have to add your URL. So like right here, www.agencylaunchmap.com. And it will populate right there. So look how nice this ad looks. Just like that, within minutes, we have an ad that we can run. Want to learn how to start and run a digital marketing agency? Run an SMA today. Beautiful. And it only took like 5 minutes, if that. So as you come through here, languages, you don't have to worry about that. You don't have to really worry about any of this stuff. You can mess around with the call to action button. See how it says learn more? You can click download. See how that changes. I personally always do learn more, maybe get offer, apply now, whatever it is. But that's the simplicity's sake of how to set up a conversions Facebook ad. Now, there's other ways to set up different campaigns. If you come through here and did a lead generation campaign, I'll just show you really quickly what the difference is. So again, remember, you never want to change the campaign after you publish it, because what's going to happen is as soon as I do this, check this out, lead generation, it's going to be like, well, you did all this progress. You sure you want to do that? And it's still there, but things are a little bit different. So like right here, it says ask for your Facebook page here first. Not sure why. But then your budget, everything's pretty much the same right here. And then the main difference, which you'll notice, is right, again, you can change whatever you want with these, apply now, is your forms. So check this out. You can create Facebook lead forms, and this is what they look like right here. Agency owners, this is what happens after they hit apply now. They don't go to a website, they stay in Facebook, and you have your own little mini website on here. We just released a new SOP on how our 7-figure agency is closing 10 plus new deals per week, strictly from organic. We'll text it to the first 100 agency owners for free. And then full name, email, phone number. So it's like a form right here. Privacy policy, they submit, boom, lead collected. Learn more about our prospecting ninjas. We have a link right here where they can go. But the way that you'd set this up is you create form name. Actually, to make this simple, I'm just going to show you one that we have set up. So you can see we have a lot right here that we've done for clients. Okay, so this is what it looks like. You can choose your form type, more volume or higher intent. Depends on what you want. If you do higher intent, they're going to add a review step that gives people a chance to confirm their info. If you're getting a lot of bad leads and names and emails that people don't answer on, you'd want to switch to there. But I always test more volume first. You could do this part right here. You could honestly, if you wanted to, you don't need this. This part will also, it's like a qualification step. You'll get higher cost per leads with doing this, but you'll have better leads if that makes sense. So you could remove this and just not have anything right there, and it goes directly right here. It's an option for you. We're just going to keep it for right now. And then questions. I always do full name, email, phone number. You can do you can add your information right here. You can add additional questions. You can check it out right here. There's all kinds of different things. You could say like, what state, see how it says state. You could add country, zip code, user information. You got that. Date of birth if you really wanted. I never do that. I usually keep it simple like this and then add it out depending on what I want or the client wants. Privacy policy. Honestly, you can really put, I would honestly just go template of privacy policy, copy it, create one your own. It's pretty simple to do. And then your headline, this is a thank you page, basically. After you collect their information, thanks, your information submitted, learn more about XYZ. If you want that, go to this website right here. It's basically how you set that up. I'm not going to save that just because I'm not going to run that, but that's pretty much how you run a lead generation campaign. And as we talked about in this video, there's a lot of different campaigns that you can run. The one that we showed you and that we set up, they're pretty much all identical as I move myself on here. Conversions and lead generation messages are the ones I use the most. If you're more interested in messages, I'll leave a link down below where you can watch a full video walkthrough of me setting that up on how to do it for Instagram and how to set up Instagram ads. It's a really good one. And the last thing I wanted to show you, because I mentioned earlier, I'd show you how to run video ads. You can do these type of campaigns and run video ads as well, and then create lookalike audiences and based off of people that watch 25%, 50%, 100%, but you got to get data. So the first thing is like, don't wait, guys, just get started. Even if you come in here and just get an ad up for a couple dollars a day, just messing around, like go for it. It'll be worth it. So the way, if you want to do a video, let's say we deleted this, you could get add media, add video, and I don't have any in here right now. Let me see if there's any on my business for this one right now. There's none on here just because I don't use this ad account, but you come in here and there we go. Let's see. Here's some of my old videos. These are some old ones, but how to charge more for your agency. Great video. Let's say I wanted to run this. You come in here and you could crop it if you wanted. I'm just going to keep it simple like this for right now, but you'll see it takes a second. It'll come over here and populate. Let me just go over the preview. And this is another way how you can run video ads and then convert them as well. So how to charge more for your agency. Want to learn how to run and start, like, this is how you run video ads. They're really good to convert as well because people resonate better with video rather than just images. So there you have it, guys. That is how you actually run and set up a Facebook campaign. So I hope you found value in this. And while you're on here and I have your attention, if you are somebody that's looking into running Facebook ads and you want to learn a little bit more on how to do this, and more importantly, how to charge what you're worth now that you understand this, I've got a awesome starter course down below. It's only $7. We priced it like that for a reason. It's my way of saying thank you for your attention to me and coming on here on this channel. And it's my way of saying, hey, this is a good way to get started. So if you're curious or even want to start another side project, it's a really good way to make anywhere from $2,000 to $10,000 to $20,000 a month by understanding how to sell this service to local businesses. So the course is down below. It's called agencylaunchmap.com if you'd like to go to it, and you can get that for $7. There'll be a landing page where you can find out more about what's included. But long story short, if you're looking to learn how to sell this information that you're learning and make thousands of dollars doing, there will be a link down below that you can go and grab that right now. And don't worry, it's completely 100% money back guarantee. So if you're not happy, just let us know and we'll refund you the money, and we'll even let you keep it because that's how confident we are in it. So with that being said, I hope you guys found value in this. If you did, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below, hit the like, and then also leave a comment down below in order for a chance to win our Facebook ads course. Again, we usually sell that for $9.97, but we're going to be giving it away for every 100 comments on this video. So with that being said, go out there, learn some ads, sell some local businesses. And with that being said, I'll see you in the next video.